Hey everyone, it's TB Shores. I have something I want to share with you, but first I want to emphasize that what the Lord has spoke to me here um, was spoke to me in a way that I can't hardly describe. The Lord has spoken a word or even a phrase to me before, but I have never received a word from the Lord in such a powerful manner as I did this. It was, I don't know, it made me feel like the presence of the Lord was right there upon me. I don't know any other way to describe it. It was very, oh my goodness, it was exciting, it was intense, but yet it was joyful and peaceful. And it instantly, um, I don't know, instantly I knew the Lord was speaking to me in a manner he never had before, with a, for lack of a better way to describe it, with a closeness that I had never experienced before. So I'm going to share this with you now, and I'm just going to tell you what he gave me. I know what I feel it's saying to me. Um, each of you, if you would, take it to the Lord and ask him what it's saying, because I feel like we're at a point to where there's some things we're not meant to go into detail. We share the initial um, thoughts or whatever it may be that the Lord has shared with us, and leave it for those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, to discern, because there's so much going on from the enemy right now. So I'm just going to share this with you, and you use your ears to hear and eyes to see to get what the Lord wants out of this, okay? All right, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. Okay, and this happened at about 1:19 on October 28th, 2015, and that's a.m. in the middle of the night. The Lord spoke to me as I was sleeping. I began waking up, and he said this: the 3 days of darkness is about the rising of the sun. Now, as soon as the Lord spoke this to me, now remember, this was spoken away to me that was unlike anything I had experienced with the Lord before. It was very, again, like I said, the only way I know how to explain it, it was like his presence was upon me. And I don't know any other way to try to describe it than that. But the 3 days of darkness is about the rising of the sun. And then in behind it was like I got the words into power, rising into power. And then I was given all at the same time, at the same instance, I was given the rising of the sun. And I knew I was getting, like, I saw a sunset, but I was also getting the word sun. And what the Lord was showing me is it's the light with the rising of the sun. It's the light coming forth to shine on all the earth. And then now remember, this is all coming at me in the same instance. All these understandings are hitting me at the exact same moment. And it's like I comprehended it all within that moment. They didn't come separately. It was like it all came flooding in at one moment, and I was allowed to grasp it. And the only way I know how to convey it is the way that I'm doing it here. But the Lord has never spoke to me like that before. I mean, it was so powerful, and I don't have words to describe it. But it was the most amazing thing I have ever felt from the Lord. But all this came rushing at me at once. The 3 days of darkness is about the rising of the sun. The rising of the sun the light coming forth to shine on all the earth. And at that time, I saw a sunrise, excuse me. The rising, as in the resurrection. And then I was getting the understanding he rose after 3 days in the grave to be exalted, lifted up to the Father, which takes us back to the ascension. And I also saw the ascension. I know what I feel the Lord was conveying to me. Um, I'm feeling led to keep explanation, my understanding and explanation out of this, so that those who have ears to hear and eyes to see will take away from this what the Lord intends. Um, like I said, I feel that that's the way I'm to convey this right now, because the enemy has taken so many things and is working on everyone, or a lot of us, in a very harsh manner. But I want to re-emphasize. I made a note right here. The Lord spoke all this to me in a way that He never has before. His presence was in it and with me. It was the most amazing thing that I have ever experienced. And I can't really describe. It may sound kind of weak to you, but the way that the Lord give this to me, every bit of this came rushing at me in an instant. But the Lord gave whatever, however, He gave me the ability to absorb it all in that instant. And it was beyond words. I'm going to read again. The 3 days of darkness is about the rising of the sun, the light coming forth to shine on all the earth, rising as in resurrection, how He rose after 3 days in the grave to be exalted, rising as in the ascension, lifted up to the Father. I saw a sunrise and I saw the ascension. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can add to this. I can't think of a thing. I just know that it was very powerful. The Lord, of course, He's took me through the scriptures and taught me. Okay, maybe I need to put this in here. In the very beginning, when the Lord was first starting to speak to me, and in the way that He has for the last 3+ years, through dreams and visions and speaking a word or phrase to me. Shortly after this journey began, there was like a debate, or maybe even arguing on YouTube about the 3 days of darkness. And I didn't know anything about it. And I wasn't going to take someone's word for it, because one person thought it wasn't, one person thought it was, this one thought it wasn't, this one thought it was. So I just asked the Lord. And that's when He began an amazing journey with me through the scriptures. He showed me the 3 days of darkness is of Him. He showed me many things that were, in my opinion, based on what He showed me, was hidden in the scriptures, at least for me, until that time. And He started revealing some amazing things to me. And that is where my most intense journey in the scriptures began, was when the Lord started showing me about the 3 days of darkness. And He showed me in the scriptures many things about the 3 days of darkness. I can't recall just right offhand. I don't remember having any dreams about the 3 days of darkness, but I've had close family members who did. But the Lord taught me a lot about this, and it was something that I knew nothing about when I asked Him the question if the 3 days of darkness was of Him or not. And now for Him to speak this out to me, the 3 days of darkness is about the rising of the sun. You know, when you think of a sunrise, you see the brilliance of the sun seem to come out of nowhere. And then the light just embraces the earth as it gets higher and higher. And it's about just like this right here, the light coming forth to shine on all the earth. Those of you who have ears to hear and eyes to see, you know what we're talking about here. And the power is the same power that resurrected Christ up out of that grave. Think about that. That's amazing. Amazing power we're talking about right there. And to be lifted up to the Father. Okay, y'all. Y'all take this before the Lord and let Him guide you in understanding on it. I felt it needed to be shared, but you need to take it to the Lord. I love you all. Bye-bye.